So for these two sides, their sevens campaign in LA is nearly over, but now they are playing off for 9th place. It is New Zealand versus Samoa. Now we actually saw these two sides play a little bit earlier on in the competition. It was an extremely close game, that one being taken out by New Zealand. And in this preview, we'll be looking through at the previous fixtures for these two sides, key players to watch out for based off past performances, and then a prediction at the end who we think will be getting the victory. But we will start with Samoa. They were a part of Pool B, the same group as New Zealand were a part of. Their opening game did not go well for the Samoans, losing at 31 points to 12 up against the USA. Their second game was up against New Zealand, and they were also defeated 10 points to 7. Now that one could have gone either way, which is why this game for 9th place could be an extremely entertaining one, also going down to the wire. And then their game up against the Australians, the last of the pool stage. They needed to win it, and they needed to win it comfortably, like they were able to beat Australia in the Vancouver Sevens. Didn't happen that way. 28 points to 19, some really good late fight back shown by the Samoans, but unfortunately it was just too little too late for a side that was a bit disappointing throughout the group stage fixtures. Then they moved on to their 9th place semi-final. It was up against South Africa, who also haven't had the best sevens tournament in LA, but Samoa, they were able to win that game 19 points to 10. They came in as underdogs, they walked away as winners, and now they go head to head with this New Zealand side, and they had a little bit of a similar journey as the Samoans. First game of the LA Sevens, they were beaten 24 points to 17 by the Australians. Their next game, like I mentioned, up against Samoa, in which they did win 10 points to 7, and then they were defeated by the USA 28 points to 19. That game had quite a bit of controversy involved in it, but pretty much New Zealand, to be able to make it to the quarterfinals, needed to lose that game by less than 7. They missed the last kick at the post, so they did lose it by 9, and USA advanced. New Zealand were the side that did miss out. Then they had their 9th place semi-final. It was up against the Canadians. Now that was always going to be a tough game, as Canada have beaten New Zealand in the past, and they normally make it relatively close. New Zealand winning it though 19 points to the Canadians 7. But now we are up to the stage of the key players. Now we are going to look through at the previous fixture of these two sides. So for Samoa, that is their game up against South Africa, and for New Zealand, it is their game up against Canada. So in their last game for Samoa, we saw 3 different try scorers. It was Elizapeta Alofipo. We did see Tom Maeva cross the try line, and I have to say he is looking like a really good talent for the Samoans moving forward. He's got physicality on his side, also that deceptive acceleration. When he's found a gap and he puts the foot down, not many defenders have been able to catch him. And then the third try of the contest and the final try for the Samoans, it was scored by Yuna Sioni. Now we did see a yellow card throughout that contest for Samoa. That has been something that's been a heavy factor in pretty much all of their games over the last couple of legs. The discipline. If they can get that right up against New Zealand, they will have a much better chance of walking away with 9th place. Then for the New Zealanders, they beat Canada in their game 19 points to 7. We saw 2 different try scorers, although one of them getting the double, that being Xavier Tito Harris, managed to score himself 2 tries in the first half, and then Shea Clark, the other try scorer for New Zealand. There were no yellow cards in that contest, but there was also no Akulia Rokalisoa, sadly missing out on this whole tournament due to injury. That has been a massive hit for New Zealand, and Samoa need to try and capitalize. But now we are up to the stage of a score prediction. Now for this contest, like I mentioned, the last time that they played, it was extremely close, being separated by just the 3 points, and also a pretty low scoring contest when compared to the other games in the LA Sevens. Now I feel like this game, there's going to be probably more points than the 17 that we saw scored by these two sides the last time that they played, mainly because this one is more of a caution to the wind, throw everything into it kind of game, that you might as well go out there, try everything you can to get those extra few points. I know for certain Samoa are going to want this win heavily because they are currently sitting in the relegation zone. They need the extra points. But do I think they can get them? That's the problem. I honestly think that Samoa, after that last performance up against a little bit of a lackluster South Africa, should be able to get the job done here. So I'm going to go 19 points to 14 in favour of Samoa. Could be very wrong, could easily be the other way around, and New Zealand to get themselves the victory. I think if either of these sides are to win by 14 plus, it would be New Zealand, just because if they find their momentum early, perhaps it will be enough to get them over the line. But nonetheless, we will be covering this game on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is kicking off at 9:10 a.m. New Zealand time on the Monday morning, so be sure to check out that stream. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments down below, and I will see you all for the next one.